Hello, my name is Dylan and welcome to the first wave of reality. If you like our videos, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, as that will be much appreciated. So in today's video, I wanted to cover the Rendlesham Forest UFO incident. Now, I know that this event has been well documented and there's lots of information out there about it, but this is a really interesting event that occurred, and it also leads to other points of interest. Now, if you haven't heard about this incident, this is the UK's most famous UFO event that occurred, and it occurred in the county of Suffolk in December 1980 in a forest right next to a US military base. Well, it was a US military base at the time, it isn't now. And just to give you a quick recap of what happened that night, there was two officers who were on patrol that night. They saw what they thought something had crashed into the forest. They saw lights coming from the forest. So they went to investigate. They entered the forest, and one of the men claimed that he witnessed seeing a triangular craft hovering in the middle of this forest. And they approached it, and one of the men, named Jim Penniston, claims that he went up and touched the craft, and when he touched it, it shot straight up into the sky. Now, this event caught the attention of the UK's national newspapers. It featured front page on one of the major national newspapers at the time, so it got a lot of coverage. Now, the event seems to get a bit stranger after this, as Jim Penniston claims that he started to have dreams and see visions where he was seeing numbers, and the numbers he was seeing were a series of zeros and ones. Now, this went on for some time, so he started to write down these numbers. He kept them in a journal. Some years later, these numbers were looked at, and it turns out these numbers were actually a binary code, and they were decoded. Now, they reveal quite an interesting message, which I'll put up on the screen for you now. This was it decoded, and as you can see, there is some coordinates there. The coordinates are interesting as it mentions some significant places around the world, such as the Giza pyramids, the ruins of an ancient Mayan city, the Nazca lines, Mount Taishan, and the Temple of Apollo. And one location points to an area in the sea off the west coast of Ireland. Doing some research on this location refers back to an ancient Irish legend of an island that was referred to as High Brazil. This island was published on maps that go way back to 1325, but do not exist on any maps of today, which is another story of its own. So why were these locations listed on this decoded message? Is this event that occurred at Rendlesham Forest real, or was it some kind of hoax? This event is just one of many. There are tens of thousands of UFO sightings all around the world every year, according to the Mutual UFO Network, otherwise known as MUFON. There are many reports on their website, and anyone can go over to their site to take a look for themselves at these reports. Some of these witness reports even have photo and video evidence. It's clear that people all around the world are seeing strange, unexplained events, so there must be something to this, as they cannot all be false reports. Now, I appreciate that a certain percentage of these reports can be explained, but even the US government admits that it can't explain 143 out of 144 mysterious flying objects. So this leads me to a final question. Do these craft that people claim to see originate from another world? Or do they originate from Earth and are man-made? If we take a look at the theory of crafts being man-made right here on Earth, then that opens up even more questions as to what are they for and why is this technology being suppressed from the public domain. We do now know from declassified reports that German scientists were working on anti-gravity crafts back in World War II. This particular craft was referred to as the glocke, or translated as the bell. There is lots of info out there on this, so I would suggest you go look it up. We now also know that after World War II, from declassified reports, that the US took in thousands of German scientists under Operation Paperclip. That's how Wernher von Braun, the co-designer of the V-2 rocket in World War II, ended up working for NASA and developing the Saturn V rocket that propelled the Apollo spacecraft to the moon in 1967. So what other secrets did the US gain from these German scientists? From the 1950s, there was a sudden surge in UFO sightings all across the world, and that's when Hollywood started to put it out in the public domain with movies about UFOs and aliens invading Earth. So what's really been going on for the past 70 years, and why is this information hidden from the public domain? I would love to know what you guys think about all of this, so leave me your comments in the video link below. In another video, I'll be exploring more of the secret space program and also the US patent for triangular craft. Thanks for watching, and again, if you like this, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, goodbye.